Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Monday, July the 14th, and the market is open. This is coming to you at about 11:06 a.m. The Dow and S&P have started the day off in the red, as did the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is now in the positive. The conversation or narrative these days is all about Trump's tariff push and how it could affect the economy. With one data point, CPI data coming out tomorrow, Tuesday in the morning, and then PPI data will follow that. So consumer price index and then producer price index. And it's expected, oddly enough, that these are going to be higher than anticipated or higher than previous months due to the inflation caused by tariffs. But I have to argue against that estimate or assumption because tariffs really haven't taken effect in many cases. And the American's consumer isn't seeing prices skyrocket. If you look at the cost of groceries, in some cases, they've come down. Now, they were extremely high to begin with, like eggs and things like that, chicken, where they had the bird flu issues, but they've come down and they've kind of held their course. And the talk in amongst Wall Street analysts and on Bloomberg is that right now, with people believing, companies believing that Donald Trump is more posturing and negotiating with these big numbers, and that tariffs will end up settling at a much lower number, that businesses are eating those increases right now. Now, the scary part about this is that if tariffs end up coming in the third 20, 30, 40% range, as Trump has talked about recently, companies are not going to be able to digest those numbers themselves and insulate the consumer. They're going to have to pass on those costs, and that is going to drive inflation up. But until we see inflation up or unemployment up, it makes it very hard for the Federal Reserve to be doing anything. So if we take a look at what's going on in the markets right now, you can see that the S&P is still in the negative, but just barely. The Dow is off 60, call it 61 points. Crude was way up. It's now down 0.45 cents and or half a dollar. And the NASDAQ is up 48 points. So we're coming into a big financial earnings season here this week with JP Morgan announcing tomorrow, and then Goldman, Morgan Stanley. We've got Bank of America, Citi, all kinds of companies announcing this week in the financial services sector. And we can see that at the bottom. Most of them started off fairly weak today, but have now popped a little bit, waiting earnings this week. And I do anticipate that financial services earnings will be strong. But what you have to balance is these stocks have had a massive run up from Liberation Day till now. And whether those earnings will justify an additional pop is the question. I think we might actually see a bit of a pullback. Good luck in your trades. Stay conservative and mitigate your risk. And if you like the videos, please subscribe and like.